Yes, do, and how do you do, all you kiddos out there? I'm back with more of King Midas' shenanigans. Once again, I need to brief you on two of the characters we'll be meeting today. Pan is a god of wild growths, shepherds, and flocks. Unlike the other Olympians who have a more human form, Pan is a mixture of man and a goat called a satyr. Pan is known for being a jovial and lazy god, alternating his daily activities of playing music on his pipes and chasing after attractive nature spirits, called nymphs, with very long naps. Despite his being shunned by humanity because of his appearance at birth, all the Olympians love Pan. This is where we derive the word Pan to mean all in the English language. And woe be to any who disturbs Pan during his many and long naps, for he can let out a furious and terrifying shout that can shield even the bravest of warriors. From this we derive the term panic. The Greek god Apollo is the god of the sun, light, music, and poetry. He is responsible for his daily chariot ride across all the earth, towing the sun behind him. Known as a handsome god, Apollo is often idealized as a perfect male form by the Greeks and Romans who made many statues of him in tribute and worship. Already strong and powerful at a mere 4 days old, Apollo killed the dragon Python that was attacking his mother. Alongside his chariot, Apollo's most important instrument is his lyre, given to him by his brother Hermes. With the stage and characters set once again, we may proceed. Archistu. After his strange experience with the Golden Touch, King Midas did not care for the things in his treasure chest anymore, but left them to the dust and the spiders, and went out to the fields and followed Pan. Pan was the god of the flocks, the friend of the shepherds and country folk. He lived in a cave which was in a mountain not far from the palace of Midas. He was sometimes seen playing on his pipe or dancing with the forest nymphs. He had horns and legs like a goat, and furry pointed ears. Pan was a sunny, careless, happy-go-lucky kind of god, and when he sat playing on his pipe, which he himself had made, the music came bubbling forth in such a jolly way that set the nymphs to dancing and the birds to singing. When King Midas heard Pan's pipe, he used to forget that he was a king, or that he had any cares whatever. He was content to feel the warmth of the sun and breathe the sweet air of the mountain. One day, Pan boasted to the nymphs in a joking way that the music of his pipe was better than that of Apollo's lyre. The nymphs laughed and said that he and Apollo ought to play together with Timaeus, the god of the mountain, for the judge. Pan said that he was ready to try his skill against Apollo's. Timaeus consented to be the judge, so a day was appointed for the contest. Apollo came with his lyre. He had a laurel crown on his head and wore a rich purple robe which swept the ground. His lyre, which was a beautiful instrument, was made of gold and was inlaid with ivory and precious stones. This made Pan's pipe, which consisted of 7 pieces of a hollow reed lightly joined together, look very simple and rustic. Both Apollo and Pan began to play. Timaeus turned to Apollo to listen, and all his trees turned with him. Before they had played long, the mountain god stopped Pan, saying,
"You must know that your simple pipe cannot compare with Apollo's wonderful lyre."
Pan took this in good part. He knew that the contest had been only a joke. While the nymphs and the shepherds made light of the decision against their friend, Midas, who could not appreciate the lyre but who was just suited by the music of the pipe, jumped up and cried out,
"This is unjust! Pan's music is better than that of Apollo!"
At this, all but Apollo laughed. He was angry. He looked severely at the ears of Midas, which must have hurt so cruelly. All at once, King Midas felt his ears growing long and furry. He clapped his hands over them and rushed to a spring nearby where he could see himself. His ears had been changed into those of an ass. So Midas was punished by the gods a second time for his foolishness. He was very much ashamed of those long furry ears, and always after that wore a great purple turban to hide them. One day, when the court barber was cutting Midas' hair, he discovered the king's secret and was so much astonished that he dropped his shears on the floor with a great clatter. He knew he might lose his head if he should tell what he had seen, so he said not a word to any mortal soul. But one day, to relieve his mind, he went to a lonely place, dug a hole in the ground, and whispered what he had seen to the earth.
"Oh my goodness, under the turban, the king has his ears."
Then he put the soil back and so buried the secret. But after a secret had once been told, it's not so easy to hide it. After about a year, some reeds grew up in that place. When the south wind blew, they whispered together all day and told one another that under his turban, King Midas had ass's ears. and so the secret was spread abroad. Did I forget to mention that ass means donkey in Old English? Well, now you know. And thus ends the saga of King Midas or Midas. In certain variations of the story, upon hearing about the reeds and what the barber has done, King Midas sought to have the barber executed, but relented. In seeing his mercy, the gods restored Midas' ears. Of course, as beautiful and lyrical as Pan's performance may be, he has no chance against the god of music, Apollo himself. So once again, poor Midas exhibited poor judgment. But let's think about this, kiddos. Was what happened to Midas truly right? Bear in mind that this is not the first time Apollo has been challenged to a musical duel. On a previous occasion, he was challenged by the satyr Marsyas. Despite rivaling the god himself playing his flute, Marsyas was unable to sing like Apollo. As punishment, he was hung upside down and flayed alive. After the contest with Pan, King Cinyras of Cyprus also challenged Apollo. After his defeat, variations of the tale would have him either die at Apollo's hands or his own. This goes back to what I talked about the previous week about the ancient Greek gods and their all-too-human foibles. For the crime of having poor taste, Midas was disfigured. And that was getting off easy compared to the deaths of Marsyas and King Cinyras. Even if Midas was wrong, did he deserve to have donkey ears in most retellings for the rest of his life? Did Marsyas and King Cinyras deserve to die? The original lesson of this story is a cautionary tale against poor judgment or favoritism. Now, I'd like to add another one for your kiddos to think about. Even being in the right, one can still behave wrongly. And with that, I conclude the tales of King Midas or Midas. I hope to take the lessons learned from this anthology to heart. They'll be of great use to you all for the rest of your life. Once again, I bid you Kalinikta, Karapola, and God bless.